Picture this. You're standing in a bustling city square watching people go about their day, each with their own story, their own reason for being there. What if I told you that many of them didn't have to be there? What if they were being pulled, pushed, driven by forces they couldn't see? Forces that were invisible but powerful enough to uproot lives and plant them in a different soil. It's a question that might sound far-fetched, but it is one that I grapple with a lot in my work as an expert in international relations. Because while we like to think we're in control of our destinies, the truth is there are unseen forces constantly tugging at us, steering us in directions we may never realize we're going. And nowhere is this more evident than in the global phenomenon of human migration. In the grand tapestry of humanity, migration is one of the oldest motifs. It's the thread that weaves together stories of adventure, survival, hope, and despair. But what if I told you that the reasons people migrate, the so-called push and pull factors, are not always as clear-cut as they seem? What if there are silent forces orchestrating this grand human ballet that we can't quite perceive? Let's start with the silent pull, the less obvious reasons why people up and leave their homes. In the pre-modern era, the silent pull was often dictated by the environment. Climate shifts, resource availability, all of these acted as invisible guides for ancient peoples. They followed the changing environment, not because they understood the science behind it, but because they had to. This is not a new phenomenon. Think back to the Bantu migrations, a gradual movement of African peoples over several millennia, or the Jewish and Arab diaspora. These are instances where the silent pull of environmental change forced groups into motion. However, another crucial silent push factor gets often overlooked. Disease. The Black Death, for instance, ravaged Europe in the 14th century, altering the continent's demographics and possibly influencing migration patterns. Similarly, volcanic eruptions, famines, or other natural disasters have likely been a silent push for countless individuals throughout history. Their impact might not be immediately obvious, but when the land can no longer sustain life or provide basic resources, people are forced to move. But there's also a positive side to this silent pull. Ancient trade routes were more than just paths for commerce. They were threads connecting cultures, ideas, and yes, people. Think of the Silk Road, the Indian Ocean trade network, and the Trans-Saharan trade routes. Through these routes, individuals had the chance to migrate, bringing with them their skills, traditions, and knowledge. This intergroup connection is a silent pull that has played a crucial role in shaping human civilization. It's a silent force that has connected distant corners of the world, fostering cultural exchange and the spread of innovation. However, as we step into the modern era, the geopolitical tides begin to shift. Colonialism emerges as a powerful current, redrawing the maps of our world and leaving an indelible mark on migration patterns. The borders that we so casually refer to today were often drawn arbitrarily by colonial powers, disregarding the ethnic, cultural, and historical realities of the regions they were dividing. This act alone has left a legacy that continues to influence migration patterns even after independence. People are often compelled to stay within the confines of their newly defined nation, forming a silent pull that might not be as visible, but is no less influential. The echoes of colonialism can also be seen in the economic disparities that persist today. Wealthy nations become magnets for those seeking better opportunities, whether it's the United States, Canada, Australia, or certain European nations. The promise of a better life, better education, better healthcare, or simply economic security serves as an irresistible silent pull. Similarly, the brain drain from developing to developed nations continues to be significant. Talented individuals are often drawn to places where their skills are not only valued, but where they can also command higher salaries and better working conditions. But perhaps one of the most potent unseen forces in modern times is the silent pull of conflict and displacement. War, persecution, human rights abuses, these are push factors that can drive people from their homes in an instant. Refugees fleeing conflict zones, asylum seekers claiming refuge in foreign lands, all of them are responding to the urgent call of survival. It's a silent pull that overrides any other consideration, forcing individuals to abandon everything familiar for the uncertain safety of an unknown destination. Now, as the 21st century unfolds, we find ourselves at a crossroads. The digital age has ushered in new tools, new connections, and consequently, new challenges. Social media plays a fascinating role in this. It presents both a silent pull and a push factor. On one hand, carefully curated realities on Instagram or Facebook can create a silent pull towards a certain lifestyle or place. A beautiful coastal town, a vibrant city, a luxurious resort. All of these can become the silent pull for individuals seeking an elevated experience. But on the flip side, the same social media platforms can also function as a push factor. When algorithms and user behavior result in echo chambers, radicalization, or the relentless pursuit of unrealistic ideals, it can create a sense of unrest. Some might feel a silent pressure to conform, to escape, or even to rebel. And lurking beneath the surface of this digital world is a darker, more sinister force. The dark web. Human trafficking networks exploit vulnerabilities, offering false promises and dragging unsuspecting individuals into a life of exploitation. It's a silent pull driven by the darkest of intentions, preying on dreams and aspirations and diverting them into a nightmarish reality. In recent years, remittances have also emerged as a significant silent pull factor. When family members send money back home, it often creates a ripple effect. Entire communities, especially in developing countries, can be silently pulled towards regions where their members have established themselves. This can lead to the formation of enclaves or communities that share cultural norms, language, and support systems, making the transition easier for newcomers. Finally, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the iceberg in the water: climate change. As temperatures rise, weather patterns shift, and natural disasters become more frequent, climate change is set to become a dominant silent pull factor. Rising sea levels, droughts, floods, extreme weather events, all of these will increasingly force communities to abandon their homes in search of safer regions. We've already seen this in action with communities in low-lying island nations or regions prone to extreme weather events. Climate change does not differentiate. It does not care about borders or passports. It is a silent force that is reshaping our planet and, by extension, our migratory patterns. So the question is, how do we navigate these unseen forces? How do we predict the unpredictable? And more importantly, how do we make sense of them in crafting effective policies? Acknowledging the unseen is the first step. Integrating these factors into our understanding of migration, acknowledging the silent pulls and pushes, is crucial. It means going beyond the visible, tangible pressures that drive migration and addressing the root causes. It's about understanding that climate change is not just an environmental issue, but a social, economic, and security issue that will profoundly impact human mobility. In essence, it's about building resilient communities, not just in the physical sense, but in the social and economic sense as well. It's about creating conditions that allow people to stay in their homes, stay in the face of adversity, stay connected to their roots and their identity. Migration is not always a choice. Sometimes it's a necessity driven by circumstances beyond one's control. By understanding and addressing these unseen forces, we can create a world that offers people a choice to stay if they want to, or to go if they have to, but always with dignity, always with hope, and always with the promise of a better tomorrow. So the next time you find yourself in a bustling city square, take a moment to look beyond the visible, to appreciate the invisible threads that connect us all. For in those connections lie stories that deserve to be heard, journeys that deserve to be understood, and lives that deserve to be respected. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, don't hesitate to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your engagement fuels our collective understanding of the complex and fascinating world we inhabit. And if you'd like to continue exploring similar topics, please subscribe. Your support means the world to us and helps us in our mission to make international relations more accessible and engaging for everyone. Together, we can navigate the complexities of our global community with greater insight and empathy.